We just got back around midnight last night from the Kansas Classic, which was a phenomenal event with the University of Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa State, Air Force, University of Nebraska-Omaha, and us. And we took a select squad there and performed extremely well. I went through the statistics this morning. We were about 95% season best times. And then quite a few of life best times out of some of our younger swimmers. So we're moving in the right direction. The number one thing that I saw, anytime you go into a 3-day meet where there's prelims and finals, there's a wear and tear, and usually there's a drop off after, usually good first day, a fairly good second day, and then they're kind of struggling to stay alive the third day. One thing that I saw with this team, which is a strong indicator that good things are going to happen, is that we continue to get better each and every session. As we went through, they swam well in the morning, they come back and swim faster at night. And the next day, the same thing happened. And yesterday was probably the best day of all. We had the most qualifiers for finals, and we came back and swam and moved up and swam faster and faster. Our biggest highlights came from Taylor Ostrowski in the 200 butterfly, finished 5th. Aftin Phyfe finished 15th in the 100 freestyle, and Veronica Herrmann 13th in the 200 breaststroke yesterday, as well as our relays continuing to swim as fast as they have all season and continue to get better. We tried to put some different people in there to see our depth, and didn't really matter who we put in there. They all swam very well. So it was a good weekend. Our divers were at the TYR Invitational in Northwestern, and the report I got is that our diving coach wasn't as happy as she would hoped. They competed very well. Scores in 8th, 11th, and 12th place on the 1 meter, and not as good showing on 3 meter. But the number one thing is they went against, again, top competition and did very well in competitiveness. She's just very nitpicky and sees the potential in this young squad, and it was kind of hoping for a little bit more. We all turn around next week after Thanksgiving, so everybody went home today, and they're going to enjoy this week with their families. Under the hopes that they all train while they're home. And then we'll come back next week, get ready for the UNO Invitational, which is basically be a great matchup for us, because UNO was at the meet this past weekend, and we kind of went back and forth with them. This will kind of show each team's depth, because it's really, for us and UNO are going to be the top 2 teams at that meet, and then we'll be able to perform a few more events than we did at this past weekend. As promised, I thought I'd talk about our signing class. I'm very excited about our recruiting class coming in. The number one thing is I'm highlighting is the number of girls from Iowa that we signed. Again, a team that I would say doesn't represent the percentage that the university carries of Iowa students, but we're trying to remedy that. And I'll start with diving. We signed 2 divers, both of them in the top 5 at the state meet a couple weeks ago. Hannah Brummel from Cedar Falls, and Jessica Misra out of Ames, who finished 2nd at the state meet. 2 very, very talented divers, whose best diving is definitely going to be while they're here at UNI, because their background has been limited, and this is really going to be a great opportunity for them to kind of spread their wings. On the swimming side, we had one out state with Maya Appleton out of St. Paul, Minnesota, who will add to our distance depth. And then Meredith Gorman out of Bettendorf, Iowa. She will also be in our mid-distance to distance group. We also signed Olivia Knowles out of Dubuque, and her teammate Molly Lembazeder, also out of Dubuque, probably one of the top freestylers in the state. Went into the state meet ranked 2nd, and was leading all the way to the last probably 10 meters and faded a little bit. The one thing I like about her specifically is her athleticism. She is a 3-sport athlete, and anytime you can get a 3-sport athlete in swimming, where most of your swimmers are going to be year-round, you see when they get to college and swim in a year-round program and train all year-round, you really see some great things. So with like this year, with Aftin Phyfe, who is a very strong basketball player, now spending time being a full-time swimmer, we have that to look forward to as well with Molly. But a very great class who's going to not only they're just not going to add depth. They're going to come in and really be front runners for that class. And we're not stopping there. We still have probably 5 to 8 more recruits that are coming on. We'll be on visits probably even before Christmas. So we're excited about really moving this team in the right direction with the great youth we already have on our team, and then adding it for